Today we're going to be talking about the artist Rene Margarite. He is a very famous surrealist artist. And surrealism means, or something that's surreal, is something that is kind of like real life, but a little different, or like bizarre or odd. So like, for example, you can see that picture behind Rene Margarite that has an invisible man. Like, he has his clothes, but you can't see his face. Like, the hat's like floating. So that's something that would be kind of surreal or odd. Another famous artwork that he made was this one, where you could see this apples floating in front of this person's face. Again, apples don't usually do that, so that would be surreal. It's something that doesn't usually happen in real life. There's also this one where these people are either like falling from the sky or floating up towards the sky. Again, that would be surreal because that doesn't happen in real life, even though there's real life things in this picture like people or buildings. And then finally, the artwork that we're going to talk about today is this eyeball that has clouds in it. Now again, you don't usually see eyes that have clouds in them. They're usually just blue or brown or green. But in this case, they have clouds. So today we're going to be talking about how to make a Rene Margarite-inspired artwork. What we're going to do first is take one sheet of paper, and we're going to draw a big eye, but we're not going to draw anything inside of it. So usually when I draw an eye, what I do is make one big curved line on the top of the eye, and then off of these two ends of the line, I draw another curved line, but bending the other way. So I'm going to draw another curved line just going the other way. So that would be how I make my eyeball. Next, I am going to take my other piece of paper. We'll come back to this paper in a moment. I'm just going to put this off to the side. And, you know, like in Rene Margarite's artwork with the eyeball, he had a bunch of clouds in his eye. But you're going to get to decide what you want to make a bunch of. So I am going to make a bunch of smiley faces for my eyes. I'm going to have them everywhere. Just like Rene Margarite had a bunch of clouds in his eyes. Now again, eyes usually don't have clouds in them. That's why it's a surreal artwork. Anything that is kind of odd or kind of strange or a little off in an artwork could make it surreal. So you wouldn't necessarily see a bunch of smiley faces in an eyeball. So that makes it surreal. Something that is kind of real, because like eyeballs are real, and smiley faces are real, but you wouldn't necessarily see them together, so that makes it surreal. Alright, I think I've drawn enough smiley faces. So the next step is going to be to go back to my eye, and I need to cut out this paper, this part of the paper, the inside of the eye. But you might be like, Mr. Inchuso, how do I cut out that paper without cutting into this paper first, or this part of the paper? So here's a little trick. If you fold your paper in half, you can make a little cut on the fold that you made. It's about like a little one, a little bit like the size of your thumb. So that way when you open this up again, you can slide your scissors in that cut, and then you can cut the inside of this paper out. So that is a little trick to cutting out the inside of a paper, or an inside piece of a piece of paper, without having to cut the outside. So for this final step, what we're going to do is we're going to take a glue stick and we are going to glue this paper down on top of here, and then we're just going to draw a pupil. The pupil is the black part in your eye, so that little black dot that every eyeball has. So I'm going to put glue on the back of this paper. And then just stick this right here, right on top of the paper. Boop, boop. There we go. And then for the pupil, if you want to, you can just draw a black dot in the middle, or if you'd like to, what I usually like to do is just draw another dot, maybe on that piece of paper that you cut out, and then cut that out and glue it. But if you want to just draw it right on top of the paper too, you can. And if you want to make any final touches, maybe you want to add some eyelashes. If I wanted to too, I could color in my smiley faces. When you're done, everyone, your project might look something like this. So again, instead of having clouds inside of my eye, like Rene and Margarite did, I have smiling faces. And again, some of my smiling faces got covered up by the paper, but that's okay. It gives it this cool effect. There's even more behind this paper. Alright everyone, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!